We were established about 42 years ago. We have 2 campuses in downtown Richmond, our medical campus and an academic campus. We're separated by about 1.5 miles. We are one of the largest universities in Virginia, 32,000 students. With the medical center, we've got about 18,000 employees, so we are also the largest employer in the area. We are urban, so we have communities, neighborhoods and business communities surrounding us who we consider to be part of our community. So of course in any emergency notification process, they're part of who we're wanting to communicate with as well.
We have an emergency preparedness plan for the university, an EPP as we refer to it. The incident response team is our warfighting group, if you will, to use a military analogy. It's crucial that when something happens, whether it be on-post emergency or event or off-post where we are involved, we have to, of course, rally the incident response team immediately. And so communication is crucial to getting the job done in emergency events.
We have a multi-channel approach to emergency communication here, ranging from digital signs to text messaging to social media to classroom alert beacons. And it's very important that all of those work in an integrated fashion and they work when they're supposed to work, when you're in the throes of an emergency.
Well, we did have life without ECampus, and it was scary because of not knowing how quickly we would be able to activate all these channels, if they would be activated at the same time, if the messages were consistent, if everyone was able to get the message and in a timely way. And that is all gone now because we can do it all at one time with, pressing a button. It's security for those of us who have to do the communicating and those who are receiving the communication.
When a crisis occurs, it's absolutely necessary for us to have a platform to effectively disseminate the message to the public. In dealing with ECampus, really simplifies that process. It's done from mainly in an emergency situation. That alert would be sent out from my communication center. And basically it allows the person that's sending that alert to open up one platform to access all of the different systems that we have rather than turning to different individuals who activate different portions of the system. And ECampus allows us to, one point, be able to disseminate the message that we need to send to students, faculty, and staff in the event of an emergency or a crisis.
Life is situational, so using one method is not going to work. If a lot of times people are in a classroom, they turn off their phone because their professor is asking them to turn off their phone. They want them to pay attention in class. What happens if an alert goes out and those people have turned off their phones? Thus, we have the alertus beacons that are in the classrooms, and those beacons are going to go off and flash that there's a message and there's an emergency going on. And it's the same for people who have come onto campus and perhaps they're just a one-day visitor or one-time visitor to the campus and they have never signed up for an error method. So we have digital signage as well so that they will see that there's an alert. They'll look up, oh, the background has changed on your digital sign. What's going on here? I need to know what's going on. So you've got to use all these different methods to let people know about the emergency that's going on campus. And life is situational. Different folks want that information coming into them in different ways. Some people want a phone call. Great, let's do a phone call. Some people want a text message. Great, let's do a text message. Some people want an email. Great, let's do an email. Some people don't want any of that. Great, we've got the alertus beacons, we've got our sirens that go off, and we've got the digital signs as well as the website that they can go and look and go, something's going on.
Well, when you're in the midst of an emergency, it's important to have a unified method of communication. You want your communications coming out from one source. The more individuals you have involved, the more likely it is you're going to have problems or missed communications. So it's very important from our perspective here at VCU to have a unified, integrated approach to emergency communications, where from a single source you can send out emergency message via a number of different channels.
You need to effectively be able to execute whatever plans and processes your university has in place. And the more layers, the more people it involves, the greater the opportunity for failure, miscommunication in issuing that alert.
And by virtue of the fact that you can have one person activate all these channels, certainly, and it's so easy that multiple people can learn how to do it and have access to it, but when it takes only one person, you're ensuring to that community that they're getting the timeliest notification.
Well, we do have our ECampus system is open to parents and visitors and neighbors of the university here, so they can sign up for text alerts. Our other channels, including digital signs, the sirens that you heard today during our test, as well as a website, our social media channels are all available to the general public, and we do communicate emergency information through those channels.
We get feedback from virtually all of our university community, which would include our students, our faculty, our staff, parents, and the surrounding community. Mainly, they're grateful that they can be notified very quickly, very efficiently in an emergency. Parents feel secure that their children are here. They know that when their children get a message, they're getting it too, so they know what's going on, even if it's calling off classes because of inclement weather. Community, the same thing. If there's whether we're preparing for inclement weather or there's a fire somewhere or God forbid something worse, they know what's going on campus and if it affects them at all as well.
A unified communication system is the best way to me, it's the only way to go. You want to reduce the friction of getting the message out, but you also want to reduce the friction of people getting that message. And by using a unified system where everything is coming out of one console, or as much as that you can get out of one console, I don't see why you would not do that. If you're trying to serve your community, if you're trying to save lives, it's about saving lives. It's about serving your community, protecting your community, and letting people know that there's an inch of ice here on campus, don't come to campus, or there's a fire in that building, don't go in that building. That's serving your communities. If that happened today on your campus, how would you communicate that?